From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2501, this is Ham Nation Headlines for Wednesday, October 8th, 2025. When there's an emergency, you can't have too many ways to communicate, particularly when the crisis involves nuclear materials. That's why here in the U.S., the Department of Energy recently asked amateur radio operators to be part of a drill at a plant where the agency conducts nuclear waste management and decontamination.
It was a first for the Amateur Radio Emergency Service in Paducah, Kentucky, responding to a mock emergency at a government-owned site that conducts nuclear deactivations and spent fuel cleanup. Paducah is one of more than 100 government sites across the country handled by the Energy Department's Emergency Management Program, which conducts nuclear remediation. The Hams, first responders at numerous natural disasters throughout Kentucky, were now providing backup in a nuclear scenario. Myrna Redfield, program manager of the Four Rivers Nuclear Partnership, said that the first-time inclusion of ham radio meant that such scenarios gave an extra layer of resiliency to keep communications uninterrupted. She said, quote, exercises like this not only enhance our preparedness, but also strengthen ties with local responders who share our commitment to protecting people and the environment, end quote. This is Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
Organizers of the Pennsylvania QSO Party are extending a big invitation to hams throughout the United States, Canada, and the Caribbean to assist their fellow amateurs in the Keystone State.
It has grown to become one of the biggest QSO parties on the annual HF operating calendar. The PA QSO party is held on the second weekend of October, running this year on October 11th and 12th, with stations found on both SSB and CW. It has the reputation as the friendly QSO party because it attracts lots of newcomers and casual operators who take their time on the QSO exchanges. Now it's become even friendlier. The committee that oversees the PA party has introduced a new group of awards and plaques for this contest to stimulate even more activity, especially on the 10, 15, and 20-meter bands. That's where those of you outside of Pennsylvania become part of the winning formula for PA stations who will be looking for you. While the PA party does offer plaques and awards to out-of-state stations in a variety of categories, organizers want to promote even more activity from those stations. I'm Mark Abramovich, NT3V.
Finally, this week we celebrate the next generation of de-expeditioners. Members of the VU4 Andaman Island de-expedition are still awaiting news of their call sign from the Indian regulator, but the wait is at least over for their addition of a new team member.
A 17-year-old radio amateur from rural Malawi has joined the de-expedition team that is headed to Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal in October of 2026. Urgent Jerry, 7Q6UJ, is not just along for the ride. Barely a year after passing his US technician exam, he has already confirmed 168 DXCC countries as a chaser. Soon he'll be on the other end of that envious pileup. He's studying to upgrade his license and sharpening his proficiency in CW. Urgent was mentored by Don Jones, 7Q6M/Kilo 6 Zulu Oscar, as part of a project created by the Hack DC Amateur Radio Club of Washington, D.C., and supported by the Jeffrey Dahn Memorial Foundation. Urgent hopes his efforts will inspire other young people in Africa to embrace amateur radio too. One of Urgent's next trips after India will not be to a de-expedition, but to an even longer journey that will shape the rest of his life. He plans to go to the US, where he hopes to combine academic studies with radio science at Virginia Tech University. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news since 1976 at arnewsline.org. With Andy Morrison, K9AWM, Mark Abramovich, NT3V, Graham Kemp, VK4BB, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe, I'm Don Wellbanks, AE5DW. 7-3, we'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.